Nobody saw the war. They only saw me walking out alive. They called me strong. I was just too scared to let them see me die inside. Yeah! I learned how to smile when my whole world was shaking. Learned how to say I'm good when my soul was breaking. Learned how to sit in a room full of people and somehow still feel like nobody could save me. Nobody saw the war. They saw the clothes, they saw the progress, they saw the pictures, they saw the moments when I finally looked successful. But nobody saw the nights. Nobody saw me staring at the ceiling, trying to negotiate with thoughts I couldn't silence, trying to convince myself tomorrow might be different, when tonight felt like a sentence with no ending. I wasn't looking for attention, I was looking for a reason to believe I wasn't wasting my life. And that's the part nobody saw. I got good at hiding what hurt me, good at changing the subject when somebody asked if I'm okay, good at laughing at the right times. Nobody would notice that my eyes looked different that day. I kept my problems behind my teeth, kept my heartbreak underneath my sleeves, kept every disappointment in a place where nobody could reach it but me. And everybody thought I had it figured out. Funny how the person giving everybody advice can go home and not know how to save himself. I told people keep going, then went home and questioned if I should. Told everybody everything happens for a reason, while secretly asking God if any of this pain was good. I carried expectations like chains around my neck, carried old conversations I wish I could forget, carried people who left like they were still in my life, even though they disappeared without saying goodbye. And I never told anybody how many times I replayed those moments, not because I wanted them back, because I wanted to understand why I wasn't enough for them to stay. That's the war, not the battle everybody can see. It's the one where you're fighting memories that nobody else remembers. So if you see me smiling, don't assume I never cried. If you see me winning, don't assume I never died inside. If you see me standing, don't assume I never fell. Some people become experts at hiding hell. Nobody saw the war, they only saw the scars after they healed. Nobody heard the prayers I whispered when I couldn't deal. Nobody, oh, nobody saw the nights I was fighting just to make it through. Everybody saw the strength, nobody saw what weakness put me through. Nobody saw the war, nobody saw the tears behind the eyes. Nobody saw me lose myself and spend years trying to survive. So don't tell me I got lucky, you weren't there when I was broken. You only see the door I walked through, you never saw the doors I had to close. Some people only love you when your pain doesn't inconvenience them. They'll stand beside your victories but disappear when your wounds need tended. I remember giving people pieces of me and watching them use those pieces against me. I remember trusting words that sounded beautiful until actions exposed them. And betrayal doesn't always look like somebody leaving. Sometimes betrayal is somebody staying long enough to make you believe they're family, then abandoning you the second you stop being useful. That kind of pain changes you. You stop asking people to understand, you stop explaining why you're quiet, you stop telling people what you're carrying. Cause every time you open your heart, somebody treated it like evidence against you. So I built walls, not because I hate people, cause I got tired of rebuilding myself after letting the wrong people inside. And maybe that's the saddest part, the people who hurt you can teach you how to become somebody who doesn't know how to receive love anymore. That's a different kind of damage. You survive the person, but sometimes you don't survive what they taught you to believe about yourself. And here's what nobody tells you: you can forgive somebody and still remember what they turned you into. That's the scar, not remembering their name, remembering who you became after they left. My mind became a battlefield with no ceasefire. Every morning started with questions: am I enough? Am I wasting time? Did I make the wrong choice? Why does everybody else look like they're moving forward? I compared my behind time, I started measuring my worth by how quickly other people succeeded. That's a dangerous place to live, because eventually you start asking, what do I want? And start asking, why am I not where they are? I had dreams that became responsibilities. Responsibilities became pressure. Pressure became anxiety. Where every thought I avoided started screaming. I could be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. That's when I realized something. Loneliness isn't always having nobody around. Sometimes loneliness is having nobody you feel safe enough to tell the truth to. So I became my own therapist, my own witness, my own emergency contact. And some nights, I was the only person who knew how close I was to giving up on the person I was trying so hard to become. Nobody saw the wall, they only saw the scars after they healed. Nobody heard the prayers I whispered when I couldn't deal. Nobody saw the nights I was fighting just to make it through. Everybody saw the strength, nobody saw what weakness put me through. Nobody saw the wall. They saw me get back up, they didn't see me begging myself to stand up. They saw the comeback, they didn't see the collapse. They celebrate the chapter without ever reading the pages before it. And God, I don't wanna pretend I always understood your plan. There were nights I prayed and felt like heaven was silent. I asked you for answers, you gave me time. I asked you for rescue, you gave me strength. I asked you to remove the mountain, you taught me how to climb. And honestly, I hated that lesson, because I wanted a miracle that didn't require me to become stronger. I wanted the pain gone, I didn't understand that sometimes survival is the miracle. Maybe you weren't ignoring me, maybe you were building something I couldn't recognize while I was hurt. Maybe the season that almost destroyed me was teaching me how to stop depending on people who were never meant to carry me. Maybe every closed door was protection disguised as rejection. Maybe every unanswered prayer was an answer I wasn't ready to understand. So I'm still here, still questioning, still believing, still walking. And maybe faith isn't saying I know everything will be okay. Maybe faith is saying I don't know what's coming, but I'm not going back. There was a version of me I almost buried. He was tired, he didn't want applause, he didn't want success, he didn't even want somebody to tell him everything will be okay. He just wanted the war to stop, and nobody knew. That's what hurts the most. Nobody knew. People were asking me about goals while I was trying to survive the day. People were asking me about plans while I couldn't imagine next week. People were congratulating me while I was secretly wondering if I still recognize myself. But that version of me did one thing right. He stayed. He didn't know how, he didn't know why, he didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but he stayed. Because he stayed, I'm here. If nobody ever told you they're proud of you for surviving, I'm proud of you. Because sometimes the biggest victory isn't becoming somebody extraordinary. Sometimes it's simply refusing to become the pain that tried to destroy you. Now look at me. I don't need everybody to understand, I don't need everybody to believe, I don't need revenge against everybody who doubted me. Because healing taught me something: you don't have to destroy your enemies, you just have to stop letting them lie. Break free inside your head. I'm not chasing approval anymore, I'm chasing peace. I'm not trying to prove that I was worth loving. I'm learning to love myself without needing somebody else to confirm it. I'm not ashamed of my scars, that proof that something hit me and didn't finish me. I'm not ashamed of the nights I cried, those tears carry things my mouth didn't know how to say. I'm not ashamed that I broke, because sometimes breaking is how you discover which pieces were never really yours. And I'm rebuilding slowly, honestly, without pretending. I don't wanna look strong anymore, I wanna be strong. There's a difference. So to everybody who thinks they're behind in life, listen, you're not behind, you're healing. To everybody who lost somebody and thinks they'll never feel whole again, you're not broken forever, you're grieving. To everybody who keeps smiling because they don't know how to explain their pain, you don't have to explain everything, but don't disappear inside your self-talk. To the person who failed and thinks failure became their identity, you did it. You made a mistake, you were not the mistake. To the person who got betrayed and now trusts nobody. Don't let somebody else's inability to love you become your inability to love yourself. And to the person listening right now with tears in their eyes, I know you didn't tell anybody. I know maybe nobody around you knows how hard you've been fighting, but I want you to hear this. The fact that you're still here means the story isn't finished. Turned every scar into something constructive. Everybody saw the work, never saw the destruction. Never saw the nights I was fighting my own assumptions. I questioned every decision I ever made. Wondered if the person I became was just afraid. Wondered if the dreams I had were worth the price I paid. Wonder why the strongest people always seem to break. I gave people chances they didn't deserve. Stay when leaving would've probably saved my nerves. Tried to understand people who never returned. The same love I gave them when it was their turn. And that's when betrayal started changing my vision. Made me suspicious of love, made me question intentions. I started seeing exits before I entered the building. Started expecting abandonment before I felt the connection. That's what trauma does. It doesn't always scream, sometimes it whispers. Don't trust them, don't get comfortable. Don't love too deeply, don't show them where it hurts. So I became guarded, I became distant. I became the person everybody called strong, because I stopped letting anybody see me vulnerable. But strength without honesty becomes another prison. And I was locked inside myself with nobody holding the key. I could motivate a room, then go home and need motivation. I could tell somebody else you're gonna make it, then stare at my own reflection, wondering if I was gonna make it. That's the contradiction nobody talks about. Sometimes the person giving hope is secretly begging for some. Sometimes the person telling you to keep fighting is fighting harder than anybody knows. And I don't want sympathy, I want somebody to understand that surviving isn't always loud. Sometimes survival looks like getting out of bed. Sometimes survival looks like answering the phone. Sometimes survival looks like taking a shower, going outside, doing the work, eating something, praying once more, and telling yourself, maybe tomorrow I'll understand. Maybe tomorrow it'll hurt less. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally believe that my life is bigger than what happened to me. And then tomorrow came, and it still hurt, so I kept going anyway. And another tomorrow came, and I kept going, and another, until eventually I realized I wasn't waiting for the pain to disappear anymore. I was becoming stronger than the pain. That's when everything changed. I stopped asking, why did this happen to me? And started asking, what can I build from this? I stopped asking, why did they leave? And started asking, why was I begging people to stay who were already showing me they wanted to go? I stopped chasing closure from people who benefited from my confusion. I stopped needing apologies from people who were comfortable hurting me. And I stopped thinking forgiveness meant I had to give them access to me again. No, I can forgive you and still choose distance. I can love you and still choose myself. I can remember you without returning to you. I can miss who I thought you were without forgetting who you prove yourself to be. That's growth, not becoming cold, becoming wise, not losing your heart, learning where to put it. And God knows there were moments I thought my story was over, but maybe those weren't endings. Maybe they were edits. Maybe God was removing chapters that were never supposed to be in the final version. Maybe the people who walked away made room for peace. Maybe the rejection protected me. Maybe the delay prepared me. Maybe the pain wasn't punishment. Maybe it was preparation. Because now when I look at my scars, I don't see evidence that I lost. I see evidence that I stayed. I see every night I didn't quit, every betrayal I survived, every prayer I whispered, every tear I hid, every morning I got up when nobody would've blamed me for staying down. And that's why I don't need everybody to know my story anymore. I don't need the world to understand the battles I fought. because the person I was fighting to save was me. So if you never saw the war, that's okay. You weren't supposed to. You weren't there when the lights went off. You weren't there when the room got quiet. You weren't there when I had nothing left but one more breath. You weren't there when I looked at myself and had to make a decision. Become the pain or survive it. And I chose survival. Not because I wasn't broken, because I was. Not because I wasn't scared, because I was terrified. Not because I knew everything would work out, because I didn't. I chose to keep going, because I refused to let the worst thing that happened to me become the last thing that happened to me. And that's the part they never heard. That's the war nobody saw. That's the victory nobody can take. They thought I survived because I was strong. I became strong because I survived.